I'm back. What up, YouTube? Welcome to my channel. I just want to just do a couple thoughts. I've been meaning to do this all season long, as well as Raising Canaan, and it's always end up Wednesday night before I get ready to get to it, and it's be too late. However, it's late, but I'm gonna do it anyway because it's episode 8, and we ain't got much left. And I'm just surprised that we actually didn't have a break. I'm not mad, but let's get into it. First, starting off, I'm just my thoughts about Kevin. RIP to Kevin. Of course, looking at this picture, we know that when Kevin got locked up, that hair was low. Now it's full, right? So we know this is an after death pic. But anyway, I knew that Buddy wasn't gonna make it, man. Like jail, prison, that was not gonna be a good time for Kevin. Kevin, he's real childlike into his comic books and just childlike, very childlike. That was probably a huge culture shock for him. I figured that he was going to be bullied in there because he was bullied outside, right? And I also figured that he was the type that was going to be violated as he was. I hate that happened to him, but you know, it's pretty much Detective Brian. Well, I'm gonna say Detective Brian had a hand in his death, but of course, we already know that Henry is definitely the problem. I mean, as he should, Detective Brian is upset about his son passing. Of course, who does he blame? Terry and Meech. But really, buddy, it's your fault. You couldn't protect your son. I mean, the Kevin told him that he was being beat up, and he actually could see the bruises on Kevin. Right? You would think that Detective Brian would have him pull some strings, have him in PC. And then Kevin told him he was violated. And then he tells him to hang in there. So, uh, Detective Bryant, he dropped the ball. And not only that, he's drinking way more than he normally does. And Detective Jen, she came over to talk to him, and she basically has a plan where she wants to take BMF down along with Henry and also get revenge for her partner. Uh, Detective Brian, he's with it, uh, because he's obsessed with Terry and Meech. He blames them for everything that goes wrong, including Kevin's death. But the problem is, you just can't deliver. So I also think that Jen's plan is also going to get her unalived. And I think that this is going to further increases Detective Bryant's obsession with BMF. But I think that Jen just might go because Henry, she's the type that she don't mind taking a life. I remember when Jen and Henry were, I'm gonna say, on a date, and Detective Jen asked Henry, what does she have any crazy exes or whatever? And she was like, the love died. So I think Jen picked up on the fact that more than likely that love died because the person died, which Henry unalived. So I also think that Jen does have a connection with Henry. I always thought she had some type of lesbian thing about her, even though she was, messing around with Detective Bryant. But I think that Homegirl is sort of, she kind of likes her. She kind of likes her. And when they were on that couch together, kissing and whatnot, and she saw that picture of Henry with her cousins, I think that's what kind of made her pull back, Detective Jean, and not give in to those feelings that she was having towards Henry. And that made her focus again on why she's doing what she's doing, which is to get justice for her partner, to lock BMF up, as well as Henry. So I think we got a death on our hands, guys. I want to give a quick shout out to Lawanda. I am so proud of her. She has finally realized that Terry does not want her and that he's going to be with Markeisha. So I'm glad she's not willing to share him because it was just getting so old, man. Like, oh my gosh, girl, like you're this dude, you having this baby, and then you're mad at him for showing up, and you're making it about Markeisha and him versus about the baby. So I'm glad that Pastor Fleming, talking about her life, inspired Lawanda to do better for herself as well as her children. This has ignited her desires to, follow things, well, follow her goals that she once had that she probably thought that she couldn't obtain because she was a mom. So shout out to Lawanda. So let me get back on this whole Henry. So I do think that Henry does have feelings for Detective Jean, or at least she's intrigued. Um, what one thing that I have noticed so far of watching Henry is that she's very emotional. She stays in her feelings and she stays trying to prove herself, I guess, because she's surrounded by men. But she's very emotional and vindictive. If she can't have things the way that she wants them, she's gonna do anything, even if she has to mess up the business making dumb decisions. It's based upon her feelings, which means that to me that she's not really a good leader, and that's why her dad is not giving her the freedom to do whatever she wants. He kind of gotta have to wheel her back in or fix problems that she's creating because homegirl is just wilding. So, um, to get back on Detective Jen, I definitely believe that she would take Detective Jen out without hesitation, even knowing that she's a cop. All right, so your boy Terry got problems. Got one problem that has been taken care of, which is Markeisha versus Lawanda. Lawanda has dropped out of the race. She's no longer trying to fight for the love of Terry. She realizes that love doesn't live there anymore. So now Terry has a problem with Vince, which is who is a police officer, and this is the problem that Markeisha, being in her feelings, has created for Terry. And I think that I know that Vince has threatened to contact the IRS, and he's really mad at Terry because Terry is a kid. Like, what does this grown, fine woman want with this child? And that really bothers him. It really bothers him, and I don't know how. I don't even really think it's. Is it really about Markeisha, or is this kind of a ego type of thing? I don't know, but Buddy is I don't know how Terry's gonna actually fix this problem. And of course, we have a Detective Bryant problem, which has always been a problem. And what is the other problem that Terry has? He has a Henry problem, right? So, Henry, of course, we already know that Terry went over to the house to speak with Blaze. And of course, Blaze is basically team his daughter, but we find out that hey, he didn't even give his daughter the money to fix her problem, the money problem that she has with the what's it, Caldings or something, the people that she owes money to. So I don't know if he was just creating like a united front when he was talking to Terry, but of course we already know that Henry is angry with her dad because she felt abandoned by him because he didn't come through with the money and her uncle actually had to pay it. So now Terry has hatched a plan to have the Caldings, or whatever, however you pronounce it, to cut her out of the business, and they're gonna actually get be supplied by Terry. So we already know that homegirl is, again, she's angry, she's vindictive. So this will definitely be a war going on, and I don't know if she's gonna unalive her dad first and then go after Terry. That may be the path that she goes down. Guess we'll see. One thing about the Flannery boys is that they always have a plan. They are very business minded, especially Meech. Meech, he knows how to not have his feelings involved. Like him being vindictive is it's the last thing on his mind. His mind is always focused on the business, and that's what I actually love that about him. He's a very good boss, if you ask me. He cares about the people that work under him, and he also is smart enough to know that if I don't take care of these people, these are going to be the same people who are going to be pouring me out in the courtroom, and you're going to get locked up. So he's very smart. I like the way that he moves. With that being said, he tried to team up with Claude, which is Remy's right hand man, and I knew that Claude really don't he didn't really have boss energy. He definitely had soldier energy. He wasn't the type that just could lead people. He was really it even appeared at times like he wanted Meech to like help him get other people on board. He just didn't have, I guess, the gift of gab like Meech has, but he wasn't top dog material for what I'm concerned. Um, I was also wondering that, did the people that Claude was talking to, were did one of them snitch and tell Remy that they were having this meeting to possibly join Meech, or did Remy just show up and nobody knew and Claude ended up getting his life taken? I actually was surprised that Claude didn't shoot Remy, because I mean, like, dude, he didn't even fight back. You know what I'm saying? Like yeah, that kind of life wasn't for him. He should have did something else with his life, worked at GM or something. But anyway, so that plan with Meech going that direction and having other people join up with other ATLians, that plan is dead. So we still have the Glock problem. And of course, Glock did try to take Meech out, letting one of his homeboys come in the hotel room. But of course, that plan failed. But you know what? Meech he's even though he has problems, but they never really seem to be like a total failure. It's like a learning lesson. He figures out ways, even with the cars that he has, trying to pack up the doors or whatever. I mean, he knows that it's a problem, but he doesn't let it weigh him down. He's always pivoting and trying to figure out the next move. He's kind of in a winning season, him, versus Detective Bryant. He's in a losing season. His son, his job, he's just going on a downward spiral. But Meech, he's definitely a boss. I actually love that about him. But I do think that he is going to possibly take a loss with Angel. I think that Glock is probably going to take Angel out. I really thought that Greeny was going to take Angel out, but they just got rid of him. Just like GBI got him done. I'm like, okay. I really thought that he was going to have a bigger storyline in that. And you know what other thing that I thought was going to be a major key this season is when Goldie unalived Big Mike and she said something about some mobsters. And I was very surprised that we actually didn't hear anything about them this season. So I don't know if that's just a storyline that just went away, or we're going to learn a little bit more about that next season. I don't know. All right, well, that wraps it up. I just had a few thoughts I want to get off my chest. If you made it to the end of the video, thank you, thank you, thank you. Hopefully, I'll be back for episode 9 to give my thoughts on that. If you like it, you can always hit the like button and also the subscribe button. If not, come back and visit. Bye.